Moto Scout, exploring life on two wheels.
Welcome back, friends. I've got a little different video for you today. It's going to be interactive. I'm going to tell you something about me, and I'm going to ask you to tell me something about you in the comments. Don't worry, it's nothing too personal. It is the music of our youth. And by youth, I'm talking about when you first discovered music and it began to mean something to you. It's a time period where even today, if that music comes up, you're kind of taken back to who you were and where you were when that music meant something to you. And it still means something to you today. Well, my group, and actually my group and my album are the same. It's Van Halen with their self-titled album, Van Halen. Came out in 1978. Of course, I was just 7 at the time. But it was the soundtrack of some of the older kids in my youth group when I was in those middle school years. Say 12, 13, 14 years old. Not sure what it is, but the guitar riffs, the hard vocals, the subject matter. It seems funny that I would hear Van Halen, those songs today, and think back to church youth groups and youth camps and summers out at Camp Lucon in Litchfield, Kentucky. But that's what Van Halen does. That album in particular takes me back to Bill Brown as a 13-year-old. I guess I was Billy Brown back then. But that's my soundtrack. I don't listen to a lot of Van Halen anymore. I did download this album. I've got their greatest hits, but I downloaded this particular album just to prepare for this video. So I'll thank you for giving me the impetus to do that. So what's the soundtrack of your youth? What is something that you still hear and it takes you back to those carefree, trouble-free days of your youth? That's a bigger corner than I thought it was. Surprised I kept talking through that one. Now, of course, that wasn't the only thing I listened to. And I could have come up with something a little bit cleaner, but I could have also come up with a lot of stuff that I wouldn't be too proud to say I listened to back then. So I've actually got some younger viewers, my kids' age, and if I was to use my kids, they'd probably be a little shocked, but I kind of like their music too. You've got to cut out some of the words that you wouldn't use in your normal speaking in order to sing along, but a lot of their songs have good messages. It's just they're using the language of society today. And again, I'll tell on myself, that's language that was in the music back in my day too. So while things have changed, they haven't changed all that much. Kids still listen to music they wouldn't want their parents listening to. And parents, I don't know, I've never asked them, but they might have liked Van Halen. Parents still listen to music their kids like, and that might shock some of them. But Van Halen, that album, it's not a bad one to be listening to right now. It's about 50 degrees, and if it's transporting me back to those summer days at camp, I wish it would transport me back to the warmth of those summer days. But it's not too bad out. The sun is out. It's kind of gorgeous out here. So that's the album of my youth. And speaking of my youth, there's a Volkswagen Bug. You don't see a whole lot of those anymore. I'd really be curious to see what is the album of your youth. Leave me a comment and let me know what song, what album, what group takes you back to your youth. That when you hear it today, you're transported back to that time. Or you get those same good feelings now that you did when you first heard it. I'd really be interested to hear what that is. It'd be kind of neat to see the different answers. I'm sure I've got a wide range of viewers and subscribers. This will kind of give me a clue as to where on that timeline you fall. So I'm back to the big road. I will go ahead and sign off. Please leave me that comment about your album. Like it if you enjoyed this video. Throw a thumbs down if you didn't. And if you really liked it, share it with your friends. Or at least use it as a conversation starter with them. Until we get to ride again, Moto Scout